Hi, and welcome to Bible Bytes. Have you ever been a part of something exclusive where there was only maybe one way in? Maybe it was part of a team or, a group or something. Something that was really hard to get into. It was like the exclusive thing. Well, that's often how people view today's I am statement that Jesus makes about himself. So stay tuned as we look more into that. So let's read John chapter 14, verse 6. And this is in the context of Jesus is talking about believing in God, believing in him, and how he's preparing a place for us and that kind of stuff. So if you want to read before that, you can as well. But verse 6 says, Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Sounds pretty exclusive, right? So Jesus says, this is kind of like, I always think of this as like a 3-in-1 I am statement, because he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And it's kind of like, it's one statement, but 3 different things to look at. So he says this in the context of, I'm going to go prepare a place for you, and this is the way. He says that he is the way. So this is a statement, kind of, where it is, of exclusivity. So why is this significant? So notice that Jesus doesn't say that he is a way or a truth or a life. He says the final. He is it. It's exclusive. He is the only way into heaven, into a relationship with God. I've heard people say, when I've been in evangelistic conversations, they'll be like, oh yeah, there's one mountain and lots of paths to get to the top. That's not any way like in line with what Jesus says here. It completely contradicts it. It's trying to make a way for all the different like world religions to get to God, but Jesus is the only way. This is significant because Jesus, as the only way to God, fulfills a couple of the Old Testament symbols and teachings that were there in the time. It fulfills the exclusivity of getting to God. If you remember, in the Old Testament, only the high priest was allowed to go behind the curtain and interact with God in that way. Well, we learn in Hebrews that it says Jesus is our high priest, that he is the way. And when he died on the cross, that curtain was ripped in two and was super epic. So he is the only way to God. He's the way. Jesus, as the truth, fulfills the Old Testament teaching as there's only one true God. If you look in the beginning of John, it says in verse 1:7, it says, the law was given through Moses, and grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. Grace and truth through Jesus. There you have it. Jesus, as alone as the life, fulfills the Old Testament promise given by God that he is able to give life to anyone who believes in him. Talking about the coming Messiah, he's fulfilling that. So all of these are a claim to Christ's deity again. So that is pretty cool. With all of these I am statements, it goes back to when God was talking to Moses in the burning bush, and he's like, who should I tell the Israelites so they believe me? And God says, I am who I am. That's when Jesus is like, I am, and then he still adds something. He's still claiming that deity there. But that is super cool that he is the only way to God. He's the only truth and the only life. So when we're applying this to our lives, what are some questions that we could ask ourselves? Is Jesus your only way? Are you following him and trusting his advice and reading from his word and learning from him? Or are you trying to add too much of the world's influence into the way that you live? Is Jesus your only truth and your only life? Don't compromise the exclusivity of Christ. Don't add to the gospel. Jesus is the only thing that is needed. It may seem harsh, but it's the way. Wouldn't you want to know if there was one true way to cure, say, a sickness, and people were trying to push all these other medicines on you, and you were like, but I've heard that this other thing is the only way? You would want to know what the true cure was, right? Share your faith with others, because people are searching for the way. I think deep down we all have that eternity written on our hearts. I believe it says that in Ecclesiastes. Humans know that there is a spiritual void that needs to be filled, and Jesus is the only way. So learn how to share your faith. Learn how to get into evangelistic conversations, because that is going to be amazing for your faith. Thank you guys for staying with me through this series, and I'll hope to see you next time.